We'll get ready to start.
I did just text Sally. I put her
Okay,
phone number in quick, so I texted her.
Okay.
good job, Pat.
Okay. All right.
It's great that all of you are here. I know I'm excited about hearing Erin's presentation. It caught me as soon as I heard that we had someone that wanted to present, and the email that I had something similar to this in it, and I may have that wrong, Erin, but cloudy with a chance of feelings. And I thought, wow. And then she's a licensed pre-K through third grade. And I thought, what a great time. And I didn't teach elementary, but I'm still excited because you've got a lot of things to tell us tonight. So, Erin, take it away.
Thank you. So I have been teaching for over 12 years now, mostly in the kindergarten classroom. But this will have resources for you doesn't matter what grade or level that you teach at. But I'm also an author of a children's social emotional book series where I use weather to teach children to identify and manage emotions. I have two of my books here, which I have some of them posted as well. And so I've also created a curriculum that goes along with that. And so I wanted to present today to talk a little bit about how you can take your experience in the classroom and use that to develop resources for educators and children. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, are you guys able to see that okay?
Yes.
I can.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm just surprised I don't have I'm not seeing my split screen. So hold on one second. Okay, there we go. All right, there. I think we're all set. Okay, so why do educators need these quality resources? This really comes from like a post-COVID classroom shift. There's a lot of need since COVID with the behavioral changes. That's where my books have stemmed from. Sorry, my dog decided to run around at this moment. Also, post-COVID is the growing academic gaps that we're seeing and diverse learning needs. And teachers just juggling the limited time and resources. And so that is one thing that makes it really important to provide resources for educators because time is so, so important. And that is one of the areas that you will see that is talked about the most in groups, educator groups, and about the limited amount of time that we have in the classroom due to like all the outside needs that teachers have to take care of nowadays. So creating resources really helps free up that limited amount of time that teachers have. Also, this was talked about a little bit in the STEM activities Zoom session that was on February 27th. If you were there for that one, they touched base a little bit on how curriculum in the classroom doesn't always meet all the needs of the educator. So it's really like filling in those gaps that is really important. I'm so sorry that my dog's like walking around. Go lay down. Normally she doesn't get up. Really where my story comes from is that I am a weather enthusiast. And so in the post-COVID classroom, I just really noticed a major shift in those social emotional needs of my students. And as a teacher and educator, you're not done at the end of the day. And I was in the evening laying in bed, and my brain is just still turning, like, how can I help these children, and what can I do to help them? And at the time, our curriculum that we were using for social emotional, it was really good, and it met all of the standards that are needed, but it just really wasn't resonating with my students. And so as I was thinking, since I'm a weather enthusiast, I was like, why don't we relate more of weather with emotions? So for example, tornado is like anger, and rain is like sadness, and sun is like happiness. And so it just really seemed like a much more concrete representation that would be much easier for children to grasp. And so that's where where I started building resources, including writing my books, really came from. And so that leads me into, why these resources are needed, because our experiences hold value, our creativity, our knowledge. Teachers are just an never-ending resource of learning, and we have so much knowledge, and there's so many needs that still need to be met in the classrooms, on those gaps that need to be filled, that creating material really is essential nowadays for teachers. And we're so good at creating solutions to problems, and so sharing those solutions can help so many people and children. And so it's good to ask yourself, if you're interested in creating materials, what challenges did you face in the classroom? What solutions really worked for you? And it doesn't even have to only be in the classroom. Like the STEM activities, they carried that outside of the classroom. Like there's so many things that they can create that can help other educators create these programs. And, what ways can we share those ideas? So I'll talk a little bit about that today. So when I started, I really felt that I needed to integrate a lot more science and hands-on experiences to the social emotional learning. That's what I noticed with really young children. So that's where I started creating lessons that went with the books and the material, along with worksheets and digital content. So I really love digital content because it is easy to access as an educator, and it also creates a visual. A lot of the manuals nowadays you're carrying around, they're huge, they're bulky. In a kindergarten classroom or the younger grades, that just really doesn't work. And it creates a really good visual to work off of, that really helps the children, especially in today's age where they're a lot more technology driven, and to really help boost that engagement level. So that is something that I will talk about with how I created those using resources, digital resources, and AI. So how did I get started? Like if you are thinking of creating materials to help others, the big one is Canva. So there's three main ones that I used. Canva is a huge resource that really kind of opens the door for creating worksheets and materials for educators, because it allows you to create the worksheet right inside of the program. And this is all can be done online on your computer. And it also allowed for use of images. And that is like something that it tends to really be a damper on things when you have to constantly purchase images to use in your resources. And so this kind of eliminates that, because people can upload their images and you can use them. So for example, whenever I'm creating like digital slides and I want real pictures of children and how they feel, I can find all of that in the Canva app. And the Canva app is really great because it's not just creating worksheets, but also content like newsletters, creating those slides, even classroom decor that you can make that right in the website, which I will show you that. You probably have heard of Teacher Pay Teacher. That's the platform that you can upload materials to and get direct access to lots and lots of teachers that are there looking for answers to their problems. And that is from preschool all the way up to high school materials. And it also includes counselors, trying to think of like the other administration. You can find lots and lots of resources there. So if you have a solution to a problem, uploading your information into the Teacher Pay Teacher can really help a lot of people. And then the big one, I don't know how familiar everybody is with ChatGPT, but it is an online AI platform. And I know AI, it seems kind of like a really big, scary thing. But AI is a really, really good resource for creation as far as time management. And so that, again, coming back to that time management, that teachers just have such a limited amount of time, and we all do. I mean, even down to making recipes, like, oh geez, I have to go grocery shopping again. I'm always thinking like, I don't know if I can make another grocery list. Like, what are we going to eat? That's always the question. What are we eating for dinner? So ChatGPT can actually help with that, and you can ask it to create you a menu, and then it can create you a shopping list. And I will show you some of that right now. So I'm going to come over here to ChatGPT. Now, this is free to use. You just have to provide like an email and login, which is what most programs require. This was an example of me using ChatGPT to use for marketing. I am not a marketing expert. There's a lot of things I'm not an expert in, and I have always felt like I'm at a disadvantage when creating materials, but ChatGPT can be my expert and help me market my books and my materials. So for example, I typed in what I was marketing, what my audience was, and that I kind of like what I was doing, my social emotional books, and to ask me questions. And so it generates these questions that you're going to ask. And then it asked me a few more questions. And then I said, you know what, just make me a plan. Like, what would be a really good marketing plan for my books? And so it breaks everything down into like bite-sized pieces to make it a little bit more manageable. So if there's an area that you're not an expert in, AI and ChatGPT is really, really great for helping you come up with these content strategies, things that I would never have known how to do on my own without doing a lot of research. So again, freeing up some of that time, that I can be now using to write more books and create more materials, because I can use AI to do some of these other areas that I'm not an expert in. So you can see it just kind of created me an outline here. I did want to show you meal planning though, because I just really think it's, you can get it as an app on your phone, and, just messing around with it a little bit can really be high impact. So make me a menu for a family of 4. We like pasta. No dairy. You tell it whatever you need. Like if you have restrictions, maybe you're, want to lose weight, or you want to, just eat healthier for your body, you tell it what you want it to do. So right now it's just in a reasoning phase. My computer is a little bit laggy nowadays. I'm thinking I'm going to have to upgrade, but it quickly puts down what its ideas of what I want for dinners this week. So lots and lots of pasta. It has meals for every day of the week. So maybe I don't want pasta every day. So I just type in less pasta. Okay. And I know that this isn't, it doesn't necessarily have to do with creating materials, but just using AI in this manner can help open the door to more ideas. So now it's going to come up with more meals and, you know, a little bit less pasta. Okay. So then you can take it a next step and say, now make me a shopping list, because I do not want to make a shopping list. So I checked through, I love all those meals. Now it's going to make me a shopping list, and I can just actually print this off, or if it's on your phone, it's right there and you have it. And so now I can just go to the grocery store and buy these ingredients. So again, my computer is being a little bit slow here. Apologize for that. So it's going to actually make me a shopping list. Again, my computer is being a little bit slow. So that's just a good way to kind of get your feet wet and see how the ChatGPT actually works. And I do have some other prompts that I'll share with you later that can be beneficial if you're creating materials. So going over to Canva, this is... this was created, my slides were created in Canva, but I do have another one open that has other material. And so these were my interactive digital slides and lessons that I had created that go along with my books. So I would just wanted to give you an example of like some worksheets. So you just open it up almost like a Google Doc, and I'm able to like put everything in that I need. You have your text features over here, images. And so I made lesson plans, and then I would upload images to make resources for educators. So here we have like little stick puppets. And if you're in need of images, for example, we use roses. And you get all of these images that can be used if you are, say, making a newsletter or a resource, you know, making digital slides. So you can use all of these. The ones with the crown are with the pro plan, but there's lots of free ones, and you can even filter it down to only use the free. So if you have the free version, then you're able to use anything in the free version. The paid version, if you are an educator and you have a school email address, you can get Canva Pro for free. Just be mindful that you cannot use Canva Pro for educators to sell your own resources. So make sure that you're not doing that, because that's really important. Okay. So how did I publish my books? So once I had my books written, and I used the Canva to help format my book and get it like into the actual pages once I had my images and I put the text on. And so a lot of questions I get is like, how did you get it published? So I decided to use a self-publishing or independent publishing format using Amazon. So your books are sold right on Amazon. I right now do not sell through a website other than Amazon, but that's something that I could do in the future. But if you are looking for something that is a little bit easier to start up, the Amazon offers low upfront costs. So really it's the images that you create for your book that cost the most if you are not illustrating yourself. Once you have the book completed, it's pretty easy to upload it onto the Amazon's KDP site, and they print the book for you when someone orders. So if you are interested in making your own books, I highly recommend starting on Amazon KDP. The stretches really far as where they sell to. So I've sold to Germany, I've sold to England, I've sold to Canada. And so they're all able to purchase the books through the Amazon. So I definitely recommend that. And again, AI can help you, the Chat GPT, through helping format your manuscripts, brainstorming ideas. Also, a big one is competitor comparison. So you're able to, go into the Chat GPT and say, I have my competitor's name is this. Can you please analyze my content and their content and tell me, how are we different? What can I do to improve? Like what areas are lacking? Or, how can I leverage this to help me market my materials more? So it really helps you kind of like also analyze information as well as the marketing. And that image was a lovely educator that I met off of social media. And she had purchased my books, and she is also an author herself, and I had purchased hers. And so it's really fun, meeting new people whenever you are reaching out and trying to help others. So again, marketing, I am not an expert in, but I use the Chat GPT to help me with my marketing strategy. It helps you with social media. If you sell on Teacher Pay Teacher, you do not have to market. Your stretch on Teacher Pay Teacher is very, very large. In fact, most of my material is not found through social media. For Teacher Pay Teacher, it's a really, really great marketing tool using that, because teachers are going on there to find problems or solutions to their problems. So if you use Teacher Pay Teacher, you are already hitting your target audience. And so that's really, really great. Now, social media can be a little bit uncomfortable. Sometimes I post a lot, sometimes I only post a little bit. But again, using ChatGPT to help me like come up with a schedule of posts, or, I get really nervous. So I use it like for ideas. I think I kind of psych myself out in the social media world, but it can help you there. One thing I do use ChatGPT for is on Teacher Pay Teacher is SEO. And so SEO are just keywords that you need to use to have your materials found. So I use it to optimize my ranking as well. And I, tell it, here is what I created. Here's my target audience. Here's what's included. Help me create a title and a description that is high ranking in keywords, SEO friendly. And then it helps create that. And so it kind of takes like some of those more difficult areas that you might be more uncomfortable with and helps you create that to get yourself out there. And then it can also help with email marketing and just communicating, not even just marketing yourself, but communicating with your people that end up following you and that like your materials and they want more resources from you. So it can help make a marketing plan for emails. And then it also, if you want to, can help auto generate email sequences if you're really tech savvy. I'm not quite at that level yet. I haven't really had it break down the steps for me on what I need to do. And I don't really know that I need to have an automation, but for some organizations, it's really beneficial to have an automation sent out whenever you have someone replying to you or asking questions. So if you're ready to create ideas and if you have a solution to a problem, you brainstorm your ideas, create products that solve problems, and then, market it, sell it on the Teacher Pay Teacher, create things in AI or in Canva that really are beneficial to other educators. And, I just really encourage people to post just one product up on Teacher Pay Teacher. It's a very, very simple format and easy to follow, and see kind of what happens. Because if you are able to solve a problem that you came across, it's probably going to solve the problem for many others. And I'm sure if you've been in the classroom and Teacher Pay Teacher has been around, you've probably purchased something off of that. So one thing that I wanted to supply for everybody tonight, if you were interested, if you use your phone, you can scan this QR code, and it is going to take you to the AI prompts for educators. And there's a lot of really good prompts here that you would type right into ChatGPT that will help you create materials. So for example, I want you to act as a graphic designer for educational resources. What are the best fonts to use? What are the best colors? Or I want you to act as an experienced curriculum developer. What are some topics on Teacher Pay Teacher that are in high demand? Like maybe you're not quite sure what you want to create and you want to see like what's in demand that you already know how to solve that problem. So you can ask it to just create you a list and to generate ideas. I really love this one. I want you to act as a time management coach. How can I balance teaching full time with building my Teacher Pay Teacher store, or whatever problem you might have? And it can break that down on how you can better manage your time, because I know that we all need that in today's day and age. And if you're interested, I also have another QR code. This one takes you to my website, and that has links to like all of my resources. And if you have any questions for me, you can email me. The link for email is also on my website. And then I'm also on Facebook and TikTok, but I'm not really active on all of them all of the time. And then on Teacher Pay Teacher. Did anybody have any questions about that? That kind of wraps up using AI in the class or to create materials, and where I go to publish those content and materials. Did you guys have any questions? Oh, Beth, I think you were talking, but I can't hear you.
It was Beth Archer. Can you hear her?
Turn your volume up.
She's still muted.
Unmute.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry about that. You forget when you're on there. I've heard of Canva, but yeah, I've never had experience with the other ones. And so I wrote them down so I could check it out.
Yeah, the ChatGPT, I wanted to show like even the menu planning. You can download the app on your phone too if you like to use apps. It's really a time saver in a lot of areas. You can also use it and for chapter business if you're needing to create or find, different ways to solve problems, get more engagement. It can, give you some ideas there too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi. I just wanted to say I write curriculum for a conservation organization.
Okay.
And I have not used Canva because I just give my lesson plans to them and they pretty them up. But I have used ChatGPT and it is amazing what
Yes.
how much time you can save by asking it to do the work for you, and it will. It's just amazing. So, but now I need to learn how to use Canva so I can write my own material and not write it for other people too.
Yes, and you can sell that easily. What kind of material are you creating then?
Well, I started out writing, this is for a place called Safe Worldwide. I started out writing lesson plans for grades 3 through 5 on things they would ask me to write. So I wrote on climate change, and I wrote on biomes, and then I wrote on endangered species and animal sentience, that animals have feelings.
Yeah.
And then after that, now I've made a PowerPoint on animal trafficking. Now, I didn't have to make a PowerPoint. I just had to find the information. They're making the PowerPoint for me.
Okay.
That's the part that I still don't know how to do. And I had another one. I don't remember what that one was, but the woman I'm working with has just come back from Africa, so I haven't had any work for the last few days. So I'm going to get some more work. But also right now, I was a history teacher as well as a science teacher and a teacher of the gifted. And I want to create some, we call it teaching as a subversive activity, lessons for social studies teachers, because in today's world, it's so hard to teach content that social studies need to teach because there's so much, noise out there about woke and whether this is stuff that, we want our kids to learn. So I decided I kind of want to create lessons that kind of hide the objective a bit. The teacher knows, but if the parent sees the stuff, maybe the parent won't figure out that that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So that's hasn't gelled yet, but that's kind of where I am. And when I saw that this was coming on, I said, "Oh, that'll help me." And
yeah, the Canva is, you really just have to kind of start using it and see what's on there. And there's so many templates that you can use as well. The only thing is you have to change a little bit. You have to change the template. The template at least gives you the outline, and there's usually content already in there, but you can easily go in and edit every single element that is on there.
Oh, wow.
So, that's one thing that I really, really like about Canva. And it really gets rid of that, that middle area of, how do I structure this to look nice? The graphic design piece can also be a little bit hard. So that kind of also eliminates that.
Aaron, Kathy Baca is in Gamma Theta also.
Oh, yeah.
In case you didn't know her name.
Yeah,
Because you're new, you maybe didn't know her name. So she's in our group too.
Nice.
Yeah. So you don't live far away.
Well, if you ever wanted me to show you, I have no problem with that. I would love to help you out and show you how Canva works.
Oh, great. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you on Tuesday.
Okay.
There you go. You will see me Tuesday.
Okay.
So, Aaron, I'm on your website right now.
Okay.
And how much does it take? Does it consume a lot of your time with all your materials to market them and to sell them? Is it a company that sells all your stuff?
So I sell my books on Amazon. So Amazon takes care of that piece right now. I might use other methods in the future, but right now that's what's working for me. And then all of my lesson plans and other content are sold on Teacher Pay Teacher.
Okay.
So really I'm on 2 platforms. I could sell off a Teacher Pay Teacher. They do take a small amount of money, and I could potentially gain that money by selling through my website. But whenever I sell through the website, then I also have to set up Stripe accounts and other things. I'm just not quite there yet because I'm teaching full time. And this actually almost acts like a passive right now income not a massive income, but a passive way to kind of make money, because once you upload your resources, if something's selling good, you're not really going in and changing it unless someone reaches out to you and says, hey, I'm really looking for this. Can you, like, is there something you can add to this? Or, or they find something that like didn't work for them and you go in and you edit and fix that. But, once it's uploaded in there, it's already out in the world. And if you use the Chat GPT to help you create the descriptions that's going to be flagged whenever you search for something like, I need a resource for a science lesson, if you have those specific keywords in there, it's going to be found. So really the Teacher Pay Teacher, and then selling my books on Amazon, everything is just linked from my website. So whenever you click on something, it takes you directly to that.
And then have you used the products that you have listed?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about it.
Okay. So, obviously I use my books and curriculum in the classroom, and all the hands-on, because I really, really love the science and integrating the science activities. So, I use all of those. I have materials that go along for the Calm Corner. I use that. I actually just taught a lesson today, actually, that Melissa Schultz was there for. And I use slides to teach a math lesson. And so I was like, man, I'm creating this for this lesson. And so I had to make the lesson plan for my observation. I did all the back end work. So then I just used ChatGPT real quick to help me write a description for it and threw it into Teacher Pay Teacher. And so, it's out there, and I'm sure someone will find it useful and, use that material themselves.
Okay.
So is anybody else actually interested in selling online on Teacher Pay Teacher other than Kathleen?
I'm
Probably
not
not.
interested, but I am very impressed, lady. I don't know how you're doing it. The amount of work that it takes just to get through a regular day and then to do all these extra. I'm very impressed. Congratulations on all the work you're doing.
Thank you. During the summer, that's a really great time to create resources. My kids are older, so that's helpful. And then again, it's when I'm coming across needs in my own classroom that I love creating material. So I'm creating things that I need in my own classroom, and then I'm then selling them. If they're solving my problem, they could solve somebody else's. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
And there's a great need for that right now, because curriculum is changing with the blink of the eye, and to be able to create curriculum that quickly is a great need right now.
Definitely. I completely agree.
So
the changes are happening continually with, every grade level coming through, because they're exposed to different things at home, through media themselves. And so the needs are always constantly changing.
So Erin, share your experience with Mark Johnson.
Oh, okay. So our chapter I had gone to speak at one of the events the years are going to blend together.
April.
In April of 24. And I shared kind of my process and how I came to write my books. And they really liked what I was doing, and they knew that I loved weather. And they were like, "Well, guess what? We have Mark Johnson coming to our Tri-County event in a few months. Would you like to come?" And I'm like, yes, I would love to meet Mark Johnson.
Tell them who Mark Johnson is. If they're not from this part of the state, they don't know.
Yes, he is a Channel 3 weatherman.
Channel 5.
Is it Channel 5? Don't tell him I said that. Channel 5 weatherman, and he's been the chief meteorologist for a very, very long time and very well respected in our area. And so, I've grown up watching him on the Cleveland News all these years. And so whenever that opportunity came, I was like, yes, I most definitely want to come and meet him. So I was super duper excited. They let me set up a little booth, and he came over and he really, really liked it. And his daughter is a teacher at a school. So she's actually, I believe, an intervention specialist. And so I gave him some of my books, and he made a little video and posted it on his social media. And it was really, really nice and really fun. And it was really cool having an actual meteorologist say, wow, these books are really neat. And, he really liked it. So that was a really awesome opportunity that I would not have had otherwise. So I'm always very grateful, that I have had the opportunity to meet everybody in this community, because it's been great. That was a good one, Hannah. I didn't even think of, talking about that. But I mean, like I said, using the ChatGPT, it's an app on your phone too, downloading it and just using it for minor, small things, can save you a lot of time. I always highly recommend just messing around with it. It's definitely saved me a lot of time on normal daily activities, like grocery shopping. That's definitely been a big one, and meal planning for my family on those really busy days.
I think there's another question. What's the difference since you've been teaching for 12 years, you said?
Yeah.
What's the difference that you've seen in the non-COVID children and the COVID children?
That's been a pretty large difference. I mean, with young children, like social emotional needs have always been there, but now post COVID, we're seeing that I think it's a lot more the parents are struggling. And so it's carrying over, to the children. And so we're just seeing a lot bigger emotions that are a lot harder to regulate in the classroom setting. And so you're also competing with a lot more social media and young children on a lot more social media. I mean, we're all playing videos and doing all the stuff on the Zoom whenever we were teaching. And I think that just has kind of continued. Kids on tablets a lot more, on computers a lot more. So that's definitely changed the focus that children have. I definitely feel like I perform a lot more. I mean, teaching is always a performance, but now I'm like competing against, videos that are real short. So, they're used to seeing, different videos and they're just swiping through. So I am constantly feeling like I'm, woo, up here, like kind of dancing, getting their attention, singing a lot. So that's definitely been a big shift in the educational world for sure. And I don't know if Teresa or Melissa want to speak on that either, but yeah, definitely the needs are a lot more in demand in the social emotional world.
Yeah, we just saw a lot of kids. You could tell we saw the biggest difference with the kids that are in second grade right now. That was our year that we could really see it. And I mean, if you think about it, in COVID, they were probably 2, 3. And I just imagine that, like, at the start of it, parents had to try to work from home. The world was turned upside down. I just imagine that those little babies were kind of like left on the floor and maybe given a tablet or not paid attention to because all the parents had to do all these other things while they were at home. They didn't get to go to parks. They didn't get to go to the doctor, maybe. They didn't see family. They didn't, all these experiences that should have happened at that point in their life didn't happen. And they weren't social and with people. And so then as they came to school, especially that kindergarten year when Aaron had them, it was really hard. It just they weren't able to be with other people, and I think had a lot of baggage from whatever had happened in those early years that were really important for them to develop. So it's taken, that group seems to be very affected in our school. I don't know if that's everywhere, but in our school that, you can really see it there. And then it's gotten better, I think, as like in kindergarten now, things are getting better and the groups that are above them are okay-ish too, just you can see how the timeline plays out and how kids act if you really think back to how old they were when it happened.
I have a great nephew that I watch once a week who's in first grade, and I discovered a book he talks out in school, a book appropriate for him, and the title of it is My Mouth is a Volcano.
That's a good one.
It's like I read it to him yesterday, or he read parts of it to me. We both laughed out loud. So instead of interrupting, he calls it erupting. So it's very cute. Yeah. So even
and
if
books
you have
are great
grandkids,
ways to teach those skills.
yeah. Oh yeah. But there's another one called Interrupting Chicken. But both are very funny. I like it. It made me chuckle.
Those are both really good books. Yeah.
Yeah.
You find yourself with young children, and a lot of times these were skills that were taught at home, and now you just feel like you're realizing that they are missing this social piece, and so they need to be taught how to navigate that. Not going to parks and playing with peers, that has a lot of skills in itself, taking turns, communicating your own needs, to other individuals. So, by them missing out on those opportunities, I think that's how they were really, truly impacted.
Yeah. Plus, they're all entertained by electronics.
Yeah. So attention spans are definitely a lot shorter than they used to be.
Yeah.
100%. And that is where I like to use digital slides, because it gives them a visual, something else to look at. And, they can also be interactive where they can click on things and circle them up on the whiteboard. So it definitely helps with engagement.
Yeah.
Anything else? I appreciate everybody coming on. I know not everybody is interested in creating, digital materials, but if you just think maybe a little bit that you are, really check out that Canva and, the ChatGPT, because they can really, really help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And feel free to reach out to me if you ever have any questions about using Canva or ChatGPT or marketing or, publishing on Amazon. I'm always willing to help. I definitely received some help from outside sources, found a group of people online on Facebook that, publishes children's books, and they were a huge resource to reach out to and, hey, this isn't working for me, or how did you do this? So that's always like, a big first step is, finding a group of people that can kind of help you out whenever need be.
Anyone else? Erin, I'm just very impressed. And you shared so much that I wished I was still in the classroom. And that's hard to say sometimes because I've been retired quite a few years already. But I think the time management that you're talking about really hits home to me. I'm going to try the chat. Got to look it up. TPT.
GPT.
There you go. I wrote it down. I'm going to try that for some things that I've been working on. And I think that what you've created for students is amazing. I wished my, especially soon 7-year-old grandson would have some of those activities. Um, I appreciate you sharing also about what happened with COVID, and I just cannot even imagine what you as teachers went through, because it was a new way to teach all of a sudden, and you did it overnight. And I think that that's amazing too. So I am thankful that you are willing to share, and also that you're willing to help whenever anybody needs help. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
May we give her a round of applause.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody coming on tonight and spending, your time with me. I know time is precious. And I hope you found something that you can take of value with you from tonight.
Yeah, good luck with all your work.
Thank you. And
Thanks.
if you know anybody that's interested in social emotional learning, you can send them to my website, erinnusker.net.
Thank you so much, Erin, for sharing.
Thank you, Hannah.
Good job.
Thank you, Sally.
And Beth Archer, we met years and years ago in Delta Kappa Gamma, so it's wonderful to see your face.
Oh,
Hear your
thank you.
voice.
Same old face.
Yes, same here.
Well, ladies, good night to all of you. And next week on, better look at my notes here. I cannot remember it, so I better look. Next week on, oh mercy,
The 11th.
the 11th, we do have our next one. And that,
Well, that was going to be my spot, so you might.
we don't have one. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Erin.
okay.
So on the 13th, we are having the expansion committee of OSO sharing what they have found out about being able to try to establish some new chapters and to gain new members in your chapter. So that might be a really good one. That's next week, Thursday. So you get a break next week on Tuesday. And yes, I'm losing my voice.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's the bug, I think.